How we doing, folks? Welcome into Week 8 pregame, Brady. Hard to believe. I say this every week.
Yeah.
Hard to believe that we're already in week whatever. But it is hard to believe Week 8, only 3 more weeks after this, and really only 2 that count with district play ending in Week 10.
Yeah.
This week, though, the only week of the year that every game is a district game in our area. These all matter for district standings. There's no, it's just kind of a practice game.
Yeah.
We had a couple of those last week. But let's go ahead. We'll go up the ladder. We'll start in District 1. District 1A, we'll go all the way to 6A. And our District 1 matchup, maybe the most important matchup of the year in this district, Freeport visiting Northview.
Yeah, both teams are undefeated right now, 1-0. Obviously, the winner goes to 2-0 in a 4-team district. That basically clinches, at the very least, a shootout for the winner. The loser kind of falls in that situation of having to win that last game to get into the playoffs. So obviously the winner of this game, it puts themselves in a very good position to win that district.
Yeah, you have to think maybe both teams are cheering for Jay in this one. Go ahead and give Baker another loss and pretty much eliminate the Gators from contention. Speaking of the Jay game, whether there's Ricky Cofield in the backfield for the Royals, we're not sure yet, but it seemed like last week maybe they grew up a little bit and learned to play as a team.
Yeah. And, I think they did, and they've gotten better each and every week. Obviously, this is a tough matchup for them because they played Baker in the preseason, and I think they lost to them by 16 points or whatever. But like Coach Smith said, we're a different team now.
Right.
We're a little bit better than we were back then. Of course, Baker's a little bit better than they were, but this will give Jay a chance to see where they really are. And let's not forget, Jay lost to Northview, but if they win out, they make the playoffs.
Right. Another team that's got to win out basically to win the playoffs. Actually, they need to win this game. Mm-hmm. Is Catholic. Catholic going to Madison County, a tough test there because the Cowboys, they're no joke. We saw what they did to Pine Forest, and it's just not easy to go over to Madison County and get a win.
No, it isn't. And it's going to be a tough test, but they, Coach Cybers says no reason to sugarcoat it. They have to win this game. They're in a 3-team district. There is no margin for error, especially when you lose one already.
Right.
So they have to go to Madison County and they have to win. That's all they have to do. And if they do that puts them in position to maybe have a shootout.
Right.
Because it doesn't do anything for them as far as clinching a spot. It just puts them in position.
Yeah, so you got to know they're focused on this game though. Yeah. West Florida High also focused on their game. Undefeated, they get a week off, but Harry Lee said maybe that came at a good time for them.
Yeah, it did. 6-0 and kind of reading the headlines and seeing how good they were, and maybe not quite not adjusting to it, but maybe it was starting to get to them a little bit. And it was good to kind of have a week off, maybe settle down a little bit. Now they have 2 games left, Rutherford and Arnold, as far as district is concerned. If they win one of these next 2, they pretty much clinch the district championship. So if they can take care of Rutherford, they'll already have the tiebreaker over Gulf Breeze and Bay, so that put them in a very good position.
Yeah, and those 2 teams, Gulf Breeze and Bay, going at it tonight in a game that, really the loser might find itself on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I think the loser is eliminated, and the winner almost locks up that second place spot. You can't really say that, yet because there's still a couple games to go. But, if the winner of that game is in a very good position there in that district.
All right, District 2, 6A, Navarre is going to host Crestview. 4 teams there have 1 loss, varying wins. A couple teams are a half game back, but 1 loss. The loser really behind the 8 ball in this game.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, either team from anybody, Niceville, Choctaw, Navarre, Crestview, they all face the same thing: win out. If you win out, you take care of business. Navarre's in that situation now, obviously. If they win out, they win the district championship.
Yeah, and after getting upset by Choctaw, I'll call it an upset. Whether it is or not remains to be seen. But after losing to Choctaw, that Niceville win looks a lot better for them. I think they'll be motivated this week. They're also coming off the bye, so they're well rested. Got a couple of guys healed up that were injured.
Yeah.
Now the big district, 1 6A, 3 games tonight. The first one will go to the Pace-Tate game. On paper, shouldn't be much of a contest.
It shouldn't be. Pace has been very good this year, very consistent. Tate has struggled as of late, especially the last few weeks. The thing is, how much will Pace be looking at that Pine Forest PHS game? How much is that if it can be a distraction? I think they take care of business, but obviously it's a game they have to get through before they get to the next one.
Right. And Milton, they're going to host Washington. And, a lot of people have already written Milton off we don't talk a whole lot about them.
No.
But they are right. They're right there. One loss in the district, a win here. They went out, and they're in great shape.
Yeah, as far as their playoffs concerns, they control their own destiny. They're the only team that really, I guess, Pace kind of falls into that situation. But Milton still plays Pace and Pound Forest. If they beat both of those teams, then they're second place in the district.
Right.
As long as they get past Washington, which is a huge hurdle for them, they have to win this one as far as to get to Pace and to get to Pine Forest.
Right, so their attitude has to be the one game at a time attitude.
Exactly.
Even though their two biggest games are still in front of them.
But they got to get to this one.
They do. The other games don't matter if they don't win this one.
Exactly.
So big game there for Washington. Their offense really seemed to find its stride since Clay Hinton went to quarterback. Deshaun Funderburg been unstoppable so far. He had a great week last week. Had a great week the week before in two big district games. So they've got 2 losses. They still feel like they're in it though. So we'll see how things shake out there. The final game of the night, and we'll only talk about it a little bit here. We did a roundtable discussion a few minutes ago. You and sports editor Bob Heiss, columnist Bill Valona. So we'll just touch on it a little bit here. But Pine Forest going to PHS, huge game tonight. Brady, what is the key matchup here? And don't tell me that it's Shaquille Purifoy against Jalen Spencer. Everybody knows that. Give me another one.
I think it's going to be in the trenches. I honestly believe that. I think Pine Forest's offensive line without Colby Watson, can they block that PHS defensive line, which has been very, very good all year long? That's going to be a key because they have to get some running game going. They have to keep the ball away from that dangerous PHS team. And on the flip side, PHS's offensive line, as far as protecting Jalen Spencer and opening holes for Jonathan Bennett against that Pine Forest defensive line, which is going to get Kevin Daly back. So I think that the team that wins the battle in the trenches, I think that's going to be the one that's going to win this game.
Yeah, I think both teams like to make big plays in the passing game, but neither team's going to be able to do that if they can't run the ball. Exactly. So that's going to fall on the lines. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jason Blakeney. This is Brady Aymond. Again, feel free to check out our nice little roundtable discussion there. You guys had a lot of insight there. We will see you tomorrow, and thanks for joining us.